absolute best. Yeah, they had us the first half, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, could be Wayne!
I think I got my swagger back. Oh!
I love it, baby!
Them orange britches. Something about them orange britches.
Tennessee wins! Spotted by Tennessee, Jawan Jennings. Jennings makes the catch.
Ball hit high in the air into right field. Going back is Sayre. And Tennessee can say hello, win column. A grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. You can't draw it up any better.
We just won a basketball game, and we're very happy right now. It's McGrath for the win. He got it. If you don't like college football and you watch this one, I'm not sure what your problem is.
Reddit did to do, and welcome into More Important Issues. It is Sunday, July 23rd. This is episode 479. Growing, getting old, doing all the good stuff.
We are old.
I feel old after last night. Holy crap. I am, first off, my jaw might be broken. It hurts so bad. Couple reasons, but I definitely did get a leg to the face at one point, or foot to the face. Somehow in pool football, I got a leg to the face.
Yeah, we went full on middle school boy mode last night and had a full on football game.
We played 8 quarters.
Yeah, we played
two games.
Yeah, I'm scratched like all over my body. Like from ankles to my neck, like I have scratches all over me.
Yeah, fun stuff though. Did you see Kellen this morning? I feel so bad. I'm so sorry, Kellen.
I don't feel bad for him at all. Really,
apologize. All right, I mean, that's fine. Like you don't, but you didn't do it to him, so.
Well, I feel like he got what he deserved because he peed in my pool. So.
Okay, fair. That's fair. That's fair. But yeah, it's we spelled obsessed wrong. That's gonna bother me. We'll fix it later, sort of. What are you gonna do? We're who knows? It could have happened anywhere. I think we did, but it's good to be back. It is we've talked about it for a while. It's a dead of July. We've been able to, and we've still got some good guests coming to you guys as we close out the summer. It is almost football time in Tennessee. I don't have the official days count. I haven't kept it up on my end of it. I'm sorry.
40?
Are we at 40 now?
I think we're at 40. 40 or 41 and something like that.
Okay. So we're getting there, and unfortunately it is in Nashville. We've talked about that. And I'm going to kind of discuss that as we do our review of Ball State, but we are reviewing the Ball State game. Went ahead and did that rewatch this afternoon. I think Landon did as well. I'm sure you can guess what a lot of that's going to be, but we're going to talk about it. We're also going to talk about some of the shenanigans that have happened throughout this week, because football fans are bored right now. It's legitimately that simple. Everything, every dumb tweet, every argument, everything can be summed up in that football fans are bored.
Agreed. Yeah. I'm bored, and we're
my fault here.
Can you
still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah. You're good.
For some reason. I'll figure this out. I'll work with this. But as long as you can hear me, we're good.
Okay.
All right. Well, real quick, I'm going to tell you guys about our good friends before we jump in, just while y'all can hear me and while I try to work to hear Landon. I'm going to tell you guys about some of our good friends. It's Underdog. Underdog is Knoxville's best sports collectible store with a wide selection of UT cards, autographs, and memorabilia. Whether you're looking for a Peyton Manning autographed helmet or the most recent Topps baseball card release, you'll find it at Underdog. The shop is owned by UT graduates and proudly supports UT sports by hosting NIL events throughout the year. Stop by the university? Nope. Don't stop by there. You'll be disappointed. I got to fix this entire ad read here. Stop by 640 Plaza at 4452 Western Avenue. That's in Knoxville still. They have moved locations. They've gotten bigger and better. They're close to Domino's, I'm sure, but I believe they're right next to Little Caesars and right next to Club 4 Pizza. You can probably get pizza there if they're like Planet Fitness. Club 4. Go check them out. And remember, always bet on the Underdog. Shout out to Underdog Sports. Make sure you're following them on all socials. They do have three YouTube shows 3 nights a week, card breaks, everything. good stuff. Shout out to Underdog.
Yeah, shout out.
Lane,
All
I'm going
right.
to let you start talking recruiting trail while I work on. I can see that we can hear you, so I'm going to let you start talking that while I try to get you back.
Awesome. So, Tennessee is still hot on the recruiting trail. They landed 4-star in-state linebacker Edwin Spillman out of Nashville, Tennessee, Lipscomb Academy. That's Tennessee's second recruit from Lipscomb Academy, joining his teammate Caleb Beasley, and joining his brother, Nate Spillman, already on campus, a freshman at Tennessee, freshman wide receiver. And, it's between Tennessee and Ohio State. And Tennessee got that one across the finish line. That's what you want to do. You want to keep those. It seems like Tennessee's got a little border around the state. Now we'll see if that's for sure with Amari Jefferson. But I feel like everybody Tennessee has really gone hard at, minus Ronan O'Connell, has chosen Tennessee. Maybe Max LeBlanc as well, but pretty much the solid core that you want out of the state you've gotten, and that's what you want to do. You don't want to miss out on those people that you already have, close proximity, close to home. That's an easy sell. And especially now, Tennessee's should win 9-10 games a year for the foreseeable future.
If you're okay with that.
Right.
If that's something you're okay with.
Yeah. If you want to win football games, come here. No matter what that moron from Georgia says about Tennessee's offense and their defense and whatever else kind of stupid takes he has. Well, I'm sure we'll get into that. But landed another 4-star. I think Tennessee jumped from number 14. And then with the additions of Mike Matthews and Edwin Spillman, jumped all the way up to number 7 in the recruiting rankings on 3 Sports. So just continuing to see that rise. And it's looking good. I mean, if you can, Kai Bates is on the 26th and Amari Jefferson is on August 5th. You take care of those two, you're sitting pretty heading into, fall camp and, this season. And a lot of those guys are getting it out of the way for their senior season. That's just kind of where recruiting is at. And so you get this one, another in-state kid that you really wanted in the boat, and hopefully you can ride that wave throughout the rest of July and a little bit into August.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it before Edwin Spillman had committed, but as like Mike Matthews, about competing against the guys who normally get the best. And it wasn't just about locking down the state, because we were kind of talking about Mike Matthews when we did it, but that's obviously that's huge to do as well. But it was mostly about competing with Alabama, Georgia, the Ohio States, the Clemson, like the people who've recruited really, really well year in, year out. And so not only is it big to obviously get that talent in the state, because you don't want to lose them to anybody, but especially losing them to like we lost like on the tight end to Ole Miss a few years ago during the transition period.
Hudson Wolf.
Like you don't want to lose them to anybody, but especially those guys. So that's huge to go out and beat someone like Ohio State. I'm sure it helps that his brother's already on campus. That's never going to hurt you. But yeah, that just a massive get. Tennessee jumps all the way to number 8 in the composite rankings, which is, we've talked about it. It's not going to necessarily, it doesn't just straight up win you ball games. Like that's not how it works. But if you want a better chance of winning ball games, you want a better chance of being in the college football playoff, of getting to Atlanta, like that's the kickoff point.
Yeah. I mean, you look at the people that were in the college football playoff, they're consistently up in the, top 5 or 10 every single year, minus TCU. I don't know what that was about, but yeah.
They don't either, turns out.
Right.
They're still trying to figure out what happened.
Right. But yeah, you're still going to have to compete with, you beat Ohio State, who was a college football playoff contender, I guess they're in the college football playoff. You're going to have another team in Bennett Warren that you're going to have to beat in Michigan. Alabama, who's a national contender every single year, you're going to have to beat them out to get Amari Jefferson. So it's a constant battle to beat these teams that have, a big resume over the last 10 or so years that are consistent national title contenders.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. And I am kind of, this 2024 class is like, you don't want to look forward to it because you still have a full season to play. But like thinking about getting some of these guys on campus, like you just can't help but kind of like want to jump forward. But yeah, I mean, like it's like, I mean, I'm sorry. I want to see Nico throw the ball to Mike Matthews. Sue me.
Same. And I think getting Edwin Spillman, he's a sideline to sideline kind of player, not just a massive linebacker, 6'1", 220. But I mean, you watch a guy like Aaron Beasley who had a ton of success last season for Tennessee, especially in that Orange Bowl, and in that Ball State game that we're.
I was about to say it's so.
Yeah.
Like he's a guy for me that I feel like kind of came, and it's Ball State, so like everything take with a grain of salt. But like it was funny to see how literally play number one he shows up with just a massive play, where to me it kind of felt like he came. It's going to be interesting watching the rewatch, see how he played against like Pitt and Florida, and I'm sure he played well. But for me, it felt like he came on as the season went on, and like that's where he felt like he grew throughout the season. Turns out like he had a massive game against Ball State. I'm curious to see what kind of happens now on my rewatch of the season.
Yeah, and they seem to let those linebackers kind of play a little see ball, hit ball at times.
Right.
Maybe that's not always the greatest recipe, but they do kind of let them play. They're going to blitz a lot and get after the quarterback. So I think having a guy like this that can run sideline to sideline with these offenses in the SEC is going to be huge and be a tackling machine.
Yeah, for sure.
Love tackling machine. Tackling fuel.
I hope this defense just keeps building and getting better. I think I like Tim Banks a lot. I think he is I don't think the guys that bash Tennessee style of play have quite hit the nail on the head. I think it's easy to say the defense is behind the 8 ball when you have that kind of offense and that kind of pace of play. I think it's easy to say it because it's like there is some truth to it for sure. But I don't think anyone's quite hit the nail on the head. So it's like for Tim Banks, I think it's hard. It's hard to be good. It's hard to be perfect. I do think maybe it's almost nice to be a defensive coordinator for Josh Heupel because your needs and expectations aren't quite as big, if that's the right way to say it.
Or any.
You're right. So I'm interested to see when you get a stronger secondary, when you get more versatile linebackers, like what Tim Banks can do. And so like Edward Spillman's a great example of like getting someone like that in the system. What can that do for Tim Banks? What can he do with that talent? I'm interested to see because I think he is not only behind the 8 ball in terms of like talent when he got here, but also with the system he is put in charge of leading. Mm-hmm. But I think I do like him, and I really hope there's growth this season. But obviously, getting a guy like Ed Spillman on your roster is going to be huge.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, just want to build up that defense more and more, and definitely want to beef up the trenches a little bit more. I mean, that's key in the SEC. But I mean, we're not getting into that guy yet. We're going to get to the thing, but
right.
He's talking about defensive lineman and offensive lineman. I mean, Tennessee landed Tyree West 2 years ago. They landed David Hobbs and Tyree Weathersby last year.
You can tell what that guy was saying? You understood it? Because I don't know if that dude knew what he was saying.
Oh, he probably did not. I mean, he's just saying like he was talking about offensive linemen, but then he was talking about defensive linemen too. I mean, he couldn't pick one. But he's wrong about both.
Right, but it also just didn't make any sense because he was talking about how when the talent gets better, it actually gets worse.
Yeah, that's
which is just a hot take.
Yeah. Yeah, the better the player, the worse your team gets. Interesting.
Right. Like it's like if Tennessee was going out and getting these quote unquote highly rated guys that weren't getting, that Georgia wasn't wanting, Clemson wasn't wanting, Alabama wasn't wanting, but they're rated for whatever reason fairly high, like the fake ratings that you saw maybe a lot with Butch Jones, for example. Like then I could understand the argument being made, but where Tennessee's at right now, Like, are we going to sit like quarterback's a great example because he talked about the quarterback position. Are we going to sit here and pretend that there's like other SEC teams and other college football playoff contenders didn't want Nico? Like, is that going to be the argument we're going to hear? And then are we literally going to are we actually going to hear that this system's going to make Nico worse?
Yeah, I'm in the boat where if we don't land somebody, we just say like it's because we didn't want them. Because that's what the common theme seems to be with us is like, oh yeah, we didn't really want him.
Yeah,
we didn't really want Ty Simpson either. How about that?
It wasn't a committable offer.
Yeah,
it wasn't.
Yeah, we didn't try hard enough.
No. Yes, I don't. It is funny. I think a lot of people did try to use that argument. Not this podcast, but I think I did see that with Ty Simpson, by the way. So they're just ahead. They were ahead of their time.
Yeah, congrats.
They were just ahead of the time. But yeah, that's we will certainly talk about that because that was just a weird thread. And like you said, it was all over the place.
Yeah. I don't think he was consistent in any of his points. So I guess he was.
It's called the pivot. He's trying to pivot a lot.
Consistently inconsistent.
I'm gonna go ahead and call travel. That pivot foot changed quite a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like he kept trying to build on his point, but he went to another point.
Yeah, he got to a point where he's like, all right, this isn't a strong argument.
Well, and then it was just like Tennessee fans just don't understand. And I'm like,
Correct.
Come on, well, help me.
Yeah, we don't know ball. That's it. Yeah. We don't know ball.
Help me.
Which maybe I don't know ball, but I know for a fact you don't know ball.
Right.
You led me to that fact. You gave us the information I needed to know, and I appreciate that. Going back to the recruiting trail, I said it. I meant to send it out, but I didn't have good service when Edwin Spillman committed. But Tennessee is scorching hot on the recruiting trail. I mean, it's fun. I hope it maintains. Obviously, you got to win some ball games this year, not only to keep some of these higher rated guys, but to keep building on that because you can't build a team around one recruiting class, especially with the transfer portal. Like it's inevitable that someone's in this class is not going to be on campus when this recruiting class is going to be contributing to the team. Like that's just a fact of college football now. So that was always been a fact that you had to build recruiting classes, but even more so now. So you got to win ball games, get these guys on campus, and then what's the 2025 class laid? You've got a good foundation right now with the 2023 class. What can this 2024 class do? And then win ball games. Win ball games. That's all I ask. Is that too much to ask?
Yeah. Win ball games. And I also think a selling point for Tennessee is hey, we're not scared to play freshmen. I mean,
no.
I guess we can go ahead and move on to the Ball State game. But early in that game, you saw a lot of freshmen. I mean, the first tackle on special teams was Jordan Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
You had Joshua Josephs get in pretty early. I think the first third down, Elijah Herring is rushing off the edge. Dylan Sampson, is making a presence in the third quarter. Squirrel White. I mean,
Squirrel White, I think, had not on the first drive. I think second or third drive of the game, had a catch.
Yeah, there's 5 freshmen right there that made an impact in the very first game they ever suited up for. So
yep, which we did see a shift this year. We talked about how it's funny that Tennessee only uses 3 wide receivers. Like if you're a starter, you're going to be on the field for the majority of the game. Like that's just the way it is, kind of deal. It was funny, and I'm sure it had a lot to do with Ball State. But you saw Squirrel White, Ramel Keat, and then obviously Brew, Cedric, and Jalen all have catches within the first 3 drives of this game.
Yeah, I think another thing that you mentioned, throwing wise. I mean, first of all, you can't have a better start. I mean, they set us up perfectly with how the season was going to play out. With Ball State tries a flea flicker, Trayvon Flowers.
Double reverse flea flicker.
Yeah. I don't know why that was. I don't know why everybody in that room was like, "Yep, that's the one."
Well, and it's funny because as he's trotting out on the field, John Paddock, Jordan Rogers is like, they think this is the best quarterback in program history, and I'm like, and you take the ball. I mean, I guess you put the ball back in his hands, but you take the ball out of his hands on the first play just to make the throw that much harder. Interesting move for sure. Listen, I like Aaron Beasley. I don't think he gets there if that dude just drops back to throw that little dump off pass.
Yeah. Poor guy. I,
sure.
I don't know what that was, but yeah, what a way for your quarterback to go out there and establish some confidence and a rhythm just right off the bat. But yeah, Tennessee gets the pick. Trayvon Flowers gets it. Shout out Aaron Beasley for the pressure, and then the first play, Jalen Hyatt touchdown. I mean, that's what the season was. Hendon
Yeah.
Hooker to Jalen Hyatt.
Well, and I remember
Scoring
talking
a lot
about
of
it.
points and winning a lot of football games.
Yeah, and I remember talking about it before and after the game. How we were like, Jalen Hyatt needs to build confidence. Like we need to see, like that's what he needs the most right now in his career, to be the kind of wide receiver he can be. And we talked about it after that first touchdown, how much it just looked like he had all the confidence in the world in that moment. He catches a little, just like find space, sit down, hitch curl route. I don't know what it ended up being, the actual route, but sits
On the
down.
first play,
Yeah, it was like a little hitch route, but
it was a will stop, is what
okay.
it was.
Yeah, it was a hey, you find space, sit down kind of route. And then he's able to take it to the end zone, and just it looks like his confidence is just sky high in that moment. Something that I didn't feel like we had seen a lot of Jalen Hyatt in previous years, and it happens on the first play of the season, offensive play of the season.
Yeah, scored a lot of points. What was it? It was 17-0 at the end of the first quarter, but I think we scored like 20 seconds into the second quarter, make it 24-0. I mean, it was over.
Right.
I mean, I didn't think their quarterback was just horrible, even though he looked kind of horrible in that first play. But Carson Steele was like their main guy. He rushed for he had over 1,000 purpose yards as a freshman. Ended up being one of the top running backs in the portal and commits to UCLA, but he didn't do absolutely anything in this game. 11 carries for 27 yards.
Yeah, I think that's another thing that stood out to me in terms of like you just mentioned setting the tone for the season. Like the themes you saw is just how, again, Ball State, but how dominant the defensive line was. It just felt like everything was going nowhere. There was a lot of controlling movements. They felt like even when they were getting stuck, like they were moving, they were keeping the ball from getting to the edges or not letting those cutback lanes be open. And then kind of credit to the linebackers as well. I felt like any time that the ball did get past that first level, there was no explosive plays were happening in the run game, at least I should say.
Yeah, and I love how they set up this game. First drive, they come out and say, I think it was Jordan Rogers, was like, "This is the coaching staff said this is the best passer that they've had since they've taken over at Ball State." And then the very first play, he throws a pick.
Yeah,
I mean, you can't jinx
no.
That's an all-time jinx right there.
Yeah, for sure. And he also Jordan Rogers, not a Jordan Rogers fan. I mean, he played at Vanderbilt. He's Aaron Rodgers' brother. Like, there's a lot to hate about the guy. Let's be honest.
He was on this season of The Bachelor too.
Oh, he's on. I feel like this season he's been on several, hasn't he?
Yeah, he was just on the latest episode that I watched.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the next drive, he was like, I mean, I think you either run or a short pass, and then after they throw that little hitch route to the outside, he talks about, I definitely wouldn't run there. Or something like that. And I was like, I mean, Jordan, come on. You just said you would. And you played at Vanderbilt. Come on. Let's pump the brakes here.
He said he wouldn't run there?
After the pass, he said he wouldn't. Or he didn't say he wouldn't. He said it's not good for the confidence to come out and just hand the ball off after that happening.
Well, he's also a quarterback, so of course he wants to throw it.
Right. He always. Which, I mean, they threw 43 times in this game. They did. Which,
yeah.
I mean, that's another thing that I don't love how we kind of used our secondary in this game. We played that just keep it in front of us kind of deal. Whereas I feel like you talked about it, like Tim Banks was willing to blitz a lot, but it kind of just kills your blitz when they're able to throw 3 to 5 yard routes.
Yeah, you got to take that away and trust that you're not going to get beat deep. Yeah, that's the problem with that's your whole thing with blitzing is like you want to make them get rid of it,
right?
And hopefully force them into a bad pass. And if you're right there, hopefully that's a pick or at least an incomplete pass. But if you're just giving them a 3 yard route, the blitz don't matter.
Right. I felt like we were defending the sticks a lot or defending the end zone a lot. And I felt like against Ball State, if we're playing a better quarterback, better wide receivers, yeah, I might say, okay, I get it. But when you're when you're playing Ball State, why not try to make some magic happen? Like, why not try to see if you can get some turnovers? Find out who your guys that can go man on man with, and try to learn something about yourself rather than saying, "Hey, we're going to let our guys fly, but secondary, like, just keep it in front of you."
Mhm.
I didn't like it, and it is what it is. I mean, I get it's
I feel
Ball
like
State.
it was definitely the first couple of drives. I feel like it got better as the game went on.
It got tighter, but I still feel like you were playing off. You weren't. I don't know. It felt like you were giving John Paddock a lot.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to see what those 269 yards really looked like if you just go and watch every pass that he threw.
Yeah, I mean, it was right at 10 average, like a average. His longest one was 33 yards, so it wasn't like he had just a couple bombs in there. Like, it was very short.
He didn't have a ton of time to throw it.
Yeah.
Credit to the defensive line and edge rushers, and then we were willing to blitz in this game. I mean, we were, and it felt all for naught in a lot of plays.
Yeah, and maybe like you blink and it's 17-0. Maybe you're not trying to show much, but yeah, I just like to see us play a little bit more competitive on the outside.
But what are you showing if you're blitzing anyways? What are you showing by just going, "Hey, we're going hands on at the line of scrimmage"?
Yeah, I don't know.
You're already blitzing.
No clue. I mean, here's the thing with getting like if you're playing, man free, or you're playing a one high safety, like if you can't trust that safety to make a play, like you're worried about him not being able to cover over the top, he probably shouldn't be playing safety,
especially against Ball State.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And if your corners aren't covering Ball State wide receivers, there's no way in hell they're covering Alabama's or LSU's or anybody like that.
And listen, maybe it got to the point in the game, like you said, you jump out to an early lead. Maybe Josh Heupel turned to Tim Banks and Willie Martinez and said, "Hey, keep everything in front of you. My guys need a rest. All right, we're flying up and down this field. We need a breather. Keep them on the field as long as possible. Don't let them score."
Yeah, and maybe there is something to that, but
no, get off the field. I don't care. Get off the field. That's your job as a defense. Get off the field. Get the ball back.
Because I feel like if Tennessee can get a couple stops early and score, if you jump out to a 17-0 lead, that's a lot when you look at how quickly Tennessee can score and how good that offense is, like how efficient it is. If they're able to take care of the football up 17 points, I'm feeling pretty damn good.
No, I certainly agree with that, but it's not a guarantee, I mean, I'm not complaining about our defense in this game by any means. I mean, there were definitely some frustrating aspects, especially like I remember
give up 10 points.
Right, especially like sitting in the stands. Like I remember there's some frustrating aspects of it, but all in all, like what are we really complaining about?
Yeah.
But I mean, to the point of like getting up, I mean, Tennessee was up 28-10 on Alabama at one point. Like that's not a guarantee by any means, being up 18 points. And even like Tennessee still played pretty dang efficient in that football game.
Yeah. You stopped them on 4th and short, a quarterback sneak. You got that interception. I mean, you got off the field when you needed to. And I guess at the end of the day, that's all that matters. It doesn't really matter how many yards they get. If they're only scoring 10 points, hey, you're winning the ball game every single time.
Yeah, I guess I'm kind of getting away from Ball State when I complain a little bit. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, it's okay.
I know what happened the rest of the season, so
yeah,
I do have I can't see the future right now. So
yeah.
But I mean, all in all, I mean, what a way to start the season. I do want to complain about something that's not really related to football. I really do not hate I don't entirely hate Thursday night football, especially for like the first week. And here's why. Because I love that the season starts on Thursday, because that just means we get a couple extra days of football. Like, that's awesome to me. And so Tennessee's going to have to do it every once in a while if it's going to be that way. Can we just have the game start at like 9:00 so it's dark? Is that too much to ask? Like, if we're going to play on Thursday night, can it be a night game and not feel like the start time of a JV football game?
What was the actual start time?
I don't know, but it was too sunny outside. It was, I can pull it up right here.
It was at 7.
Yeah, that's too early. In September in Tennessee, too early.
Yeah.
8 at the earliest. But really, let it get dark I want the
How
lights
about,
on.
how about we just don't play any more Thursday games?
I mean, that's fine with me too. But like I said, it's just kind of the nature of it. Like you're going to at some point if they're going to do Thursday night football.
Well, I think that would be the case. Like if Tennessee is not, going into the season with a lot of expectations, sure. Like you want to play a game where you're going to be on TV, but now this Tennessee team, you're ranked in the top 25. You should
Yeah.
be. You shouldn't have to like play on Thursday for people to watch your football games.
For sure, but like for me, and this is why I talked about I'm going to complain about this season too. I would rather play a Thursday night 8 p.m. game than a Saturday 11 a.m. local time game, personally, especially at a neutral site.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So
Still don't love it.
I don't love it, but like I said, I think you're right that if Tennessee's expectations are higher, they shouldn't have to play on Thursday. But especially if it's just to get eyes on it, that's the only reason you're doing it. But I don't hate it when you compare it to potentially playing a 11 a.m. local neutral site game, because that is the worst start time I've ever heard of for a season ever. It's just the worst week one game I've ever imagined in my life.
Yeah, and if it wasn't Nashville, I would feel a lot.
Yeah, play noon at Neyland on Saturday for opening kickoff. Sure, whatever. I'll be out there Friday night at 9 p.m. starting my tailgate. That's fine with me.
Yeah, if we didn't have like a free place to stay in Nashville, I would feel a lot more ill will toward it.
Yeah, that's fair.
But whatever. It's never going to be perfect, I guess, when you're playing like these teams. But it is a Power 5 game, which is a little head scratching to me.
Yeah, I haven't. To full disclosure, I've not looked at the slate of games that Saturday either. Like I don't know. I'm sure someone's playing Austin P at 7 p.m. Unfortunately,
Oh yeah, for sure.
I don't know. It is what it is. But yeah, that like every time I get pissed about a Thursday game, I'm also watching this one kick off and realizing that it looks like a JV game because of the time of day it's getting played at.
Yeah.
And it just really irritates me.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't start getting dark till like what, 9:10, 9:15 right now?
Yeah, it might be a little bit earlier that time, September, like probably like 9 o'clock right at it, maybe a little before 9. But yeah, it's a little bit later. But just let the sun get behind the stadium before we run out of the tee. That's all I'm asking for Thursday night games.
Yeah, the Thursday night, I don't love it just because of, first of all, you got to go to work on Friday. So that sucks. You got to work on Thursday, which that sucks because like tailgating's out of the question.
Right.
And then you don't really get to enjoy it because by the time it gets over, it's time to, hey, I got to rush home, take a shower, go to sleep, go to work for one more day during the week. And
yeah,
I'm like, man, we could have played it on Saturday where got to enjoy it a little bit more.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with those points.
What about it's third down?
It's third down.
That was pretty good.
Thank you. Been practicing. Classic NFL stadium is third down. They all sound the same. Just don't do it if that's all you're gonna do. Like for me, maybe it's because I keep up with the downs, down and distance. Maybe that's why. I don't need a third down thing. I think that's the problem, is everyone thinks they need a third down thing.
I just think we should play like a music.
I don't think we need to play anything. And I'm all for not. And I think, you know how they kind of started to do third down for what in the Alabama game? I think that makes that part even better. If they don't do any, like, if you don't have anything, you don't have anything. That's fine. You don't need it. You don't need it.
Yeah.
Third down's third down, baby. We're getting up for it.
Yeah, I think it's, I don't know. I don't hate that you want to do something. Like, I don't hate that. I just don't think it's third down. It's like, I mean, obviously it's third down.
Right. Yeah, I think just I don't know if there's a perfect. I'm not the biggest fan of third down for what, but in the scheme of what you could play, third down for what rocks with like 8 C's.
Oh yeah.
And I'm cool with not doing it every time. I think it loses its luster after a while. So save it for big moments. Keep it in the bank. And just play nothing. Let us get hype. The player, and if you're confused about what down and distance it is, look down at the sidelines and you'll see the walk-ons and the offensive linemen that ride the bench, that they'll have towels waving. And so you'll know when it's third down. And that's when you start screaming if you're confused.
Yes.
Just give me a nice, clear announcer like, it's 3rd and 8. There you go. That's all we need. That's it.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm the only one. I know I see every year people arguing about what our third down song should be.
Yeah. Also, another note on this game, I forgot that we didn't have Brew McCoy eligible until like a week before the first game, which is so frustrating.
Yeah. We don't have that this year. What's going to happen when we don't have somebody tweet about like give us an answer? 2 years ago, 3 years ago, we had Caden Mays.
Jalen McCullough might be in that boat.
Fair. I didn't realize until like 2 weeks ago that was a thing.
Yeah.
So is he officially suspended or something? Or
He's not. No, he's not suspended right now.
I was about to say he was cleared by the academic or the University Student Conduct Board or whatever they're called.
I guess it's going to trial, so I don't know what happens.
Well, I don't know all the details of it, but it sounds like I'm shocked it's going to trial. Because it sounds like that guy that got punched was an idiot.
Yeah. I don't know.
I do see from June 16th that he was indicted.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, that's not good.
No. So we might have one on their hands, knock on wood.
Yeah, that's... Of course, we may not be able to tweet it to anybody if he's in,
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if tweeting at the Knox County Sheriff to release him is going to do anything for us, like the NCAA. I mean, we could try, but
yeah, I mean, it probably has the same impact. The NCAA is not going to do anything either. So
yeah,
we should just threaten to sue. Maybe that just works.
So I don't understand. Like the cop said that this guy was visibly intoxicated, and they just take his word for it over everyone else's? Because, like, if the roles are reversed, they don't care what this guy says. Like, if Jalen is visibly intoxicated, has a bottle of vodka in his hand, they don't care what he says. They're only listening to the other guy.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't mean to get off topic. It's just such a weird story. I mean, I'd be very interested to hear all the facts because I just don't understand.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. And I'm not going to speculate because I have honestly no clue. It just sounds like a stupid situation.
Sounds like a very dumb situation. Also, maybe probably shouldn't have punched him, but that's if you did walk into your house, I don't know what to tell you to do. So I don't know. Like you said, I'd be interested to hear all the information.
Right. Man, I forget what it was. Jabari Small's touchdown run where he gets stopped like the 4-yard line, and then the big fellas
loved it.
Just tumble their way into the end zone. I mean, it's just unreal. I love it. Love a big fella just pile into the end zone.
Yeah, we do love that.
They all start rolling in the checkerboard after they score. I mean, it's a sight to see for sure.
I would like to know, have you noticed, I know, like I remember it now, it's our wide receivers that do it. It looks a lot like the baseball home run celebration where they kind of put the hand up and they kind of wind the clock deal. I'd like to know what that's about.
I love watching quarterbacks run down the field after they throw a bomb.
Get the helmet strap immediately off. Well, I guess if they have the zipper, what do? They just just zip it.
I guess.
They're borderline home run celebrations too. Usually, sometimes 2 hands up. It's often one hand up.
Yeah, yeah, and all of them have a different. Like Tyler Bray used to do the "I'm crazy." I don't know. Or at some point he did the.
That was against North Carolina, I think, when he did the throw it slash, and then we lost. Which we shouldn't have lost. We should not have lost that game to Tyler Bray's defense, but. We got cheated out of that one.
Mm-hmm.
He may have done it before, too. It wouldn't shock me.
Yeah.
Also, what about him putting Was it Aaron Murray in a body bag this week?
That's right. What? I can't remember what
He said he was bringing his daughter to the Georgia game. Come by the tailgate, Tyler. I'm going to look it up exactly what he said. What is his name on Twitter? There's a bunch of Tyler Brays on Twitter, shockingly.
T. Bray. 8.
I'm shocked I don't follow him.
Something like that.
T. Bray 08? Is that? Or is it just 8?
That sounds right.
Maybe it's Tyler Bray 08. Golly, how do I? This is disappointing. But anyways, he put Aaron Murray in a body bag.
He did.
All right, I'm gonna find this while we. Hey, we've got some friends to tell you about.
Yeah, I can.
Unless I'm sorry to take you away from Ball State if you weren't ready.
Well, I was still kind of hitting on some of that. I did think it was hilarious how 2 of the wide receivers that caught touchdown pass in this game end up entering the transfer portal, like during the season.
Yeah, fair.
It's like, I mean, okay, well, I don't know. I thought it was funny. I mean, Walker Merrill gets in pretty early, catches a touchdown. Yeah. Jimmy Holiday catches a freaking seed from Joe Milton. Oh my god!
I feel like Joe Milton looked like vastly improved in that game. Like you saw that and you're like, yeah, he's better.
Yeah, and him running with the football, he just looked quicker. From the year before, you know, I know he lost some weight a little bit, got a little bit more lean, and I thought he looked poised, but I feel like, and that was it. After the other 3 quarterbacks, we played 5 quarterbacks in that game, which is insane. I think I remember talking about that.
Yes,
once that game happened, but yeah, we played 5 quarterbacks, and you know, after Joe Milton kind of went out, you know, it was a bunch of guys that a lot of people have never heard of.
Whoa, Navy Schuler was one there. He was in the mix.
I didn't say him. I just said some people have never heard of.
All right.
Like, Gaston Moore. Why is Amari Thomas playing quarterback?
Gaston Moore was 8 for 9 in that game.
Yeah, he's a stud.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the maybe we should start him train. Am I the only one?
They did say Gaston Moore.
Did they pronounce it Gaston?
It was like
Beauty and the Beast. Surely they said Gaston.
They said it weird.
I missed it if they said Gaston.
It was like Gaston.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Good for them.
Well, yeah. No, Gaston Moore was 1 for 1.
Oh, okay. Was it Joe that was 8 for 9?
Joe was
8 for 9. Okay. I was about to say, he didn't feel like he threw the ball that many times, but I was looking at the box score. Okay. I just got him. It's crazy that Joe Milton only threw the ball 9 times.
Gaston Moore is the 4th quarterback. We're freaking tossing it.
Did it not feel like Joe threw it way more than 9 times?
Yeah.
Good for him.
I don't.
Maybe it's how long the ball was in the. It's how long the ball was in the air. Just about every time he threw it.
Yeah.
Makes it feel like more throws.
This was Hendon Hooker's first opening start for us.
Ever? Oh, okay. I thought you meant ever. Which I don't know what he did at Tech, but
I don't know. But at one point he was 4 for 8. He ended up 18 for 25. So I think he had. It wasn't perfect to begin the game.
And I don't remember what quarter it was in where he threw that one that was borderline pick 6. And it gets
to Brew McCoy.
To Brew, yeah. I mean, if the dude had caught that, that might be returned for a touchdown.
Yeah, everybody's heart kind of sank watching that one.
Yeah. Sorry to kind of get on the bad stuff there, Hendon. We're just remembering how good it was after.
Right. It turned out to be okay. You trust your receivers. You know where they can get to, and
exactly. He had just studied film. He knew that DB wasn't getting downhill fast enough.
Yeah, he was too short.
Exactly.
Too short. I thought Jalen Wright looked really good, and Jabari Small. But Jalen Wright, and that's kind of his theme for the whole season. If like that guy can like get his fumbles under control, I mean, he's Tennessee's best running back by far.
Well, he fumbled in this game, and then, what other game was it? Because I think he only ended up having 4 for the season. 3 were lost, which is a lot for running back. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like a lot of people would probably remember more. But this game and then the Wasn't the second game of the season. It would have been the third game. Who did we play third game?
Florida?
Was Florida our third or fourth? I don't know. Whatever. He fumbled a lot early on though. And that's what really bit him in the butt. I mean, that's like you're not gonna see the field as often when you let the ball hit the ground early.
Right.
Tennessee also Jabari Small, I think it was the second drive, he busts that big run and gets tackled in the secondary. I feel like if he goes right instead of left, he might score a touchdown.
He's gone.
I was like, that just really just one quick move to the right. He was getting trailed, so maybe not, but it felt like he was one move away from the end zone. And not.
I feel like we're always kind of one person away from scoring a lot of those big runs. And I think it is funny how, like, running backs are a little skeptical coming to Tennessee, but I mean, I noticed it from the very first drive. It was like, dude, Tennessee runs the football and runs it a lot.
Yes.
And they ride the hot hand. If you have a big run, hey, you're right up on the ball, and they'll probably give it to you again.
Right.
Right. Maybe you don't like that all the time, but definitely, like, they're going to feed you.
Yeah, if you want carries, you should like that.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't understand that concept of people just thinking Tennessee just only throws the football. They're a very balanced offense, and they even run the ball more than they throw it.
Right. I don't know.
Whatever. I think one thing we are going to miss is Hendon Hooker's running ability. And not that Joe can't do it, but I think Hendon Hooker just made plays when nothing was there. Yeah,
I think it's the elusiveness, the kind of not to kind of take away from Hendon Hooker, but something like everyone will be super familiar with was like that Josh Dobbs-esque, like real slippery, kind of nothing out of something out of nothing. Whereas I think Joe could probably run the ball, but I don't know. First off, I mean, not Hendon's tall, but him and Josh are both kind of slippery dudes in general. Joe's kind of a tank. Like, it's kind of hard not to like find, grab, and hit the tank.
Yeah.
So like, I just don't know if he will physically have that ability.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's like the elusiveness is what's going to be missed.
Yeah. No, I agree. But I do think, like, in those kind of one-on-one matchups, I do think Joe can win some of those, even though, like, Hendon Hooker might make somebody miss. But in terms of, like, getting that extra yard, I think Joe is going to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Because he is, what, 240?
And hopefully he's willing to do that too, though.
Yeah. Had a couple more things. So, fumble touchback. Love that.
Poor guy.
Poor Ball State doing the old Pick Howard. Shout out Pick Howard. Love that guy, but sucks that plays just.
It's also sucked for them too, though, that it hit the pylon because it would have been a touchdown for Ball State. Also,
yeah, if he would have just had
the pylon,
yeah.
Well, like if he just fumbles it forward and doesn't hit the pylon,
yeah. Also, Darnell Wright gets shoved in the face mask and like has a full on like act like he got shot and falls face first instead of backwards.
Was that the first play when he got his helmet ripped off?
No. This was like during the game. There was a penalty.
I missed this.
Yeah.
He also got his helmet ripped off. I think it was him. First play of the game. Offense play of the game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because remember we kicked off from the 50-yard line from defensive legal hands to face.
Yeah,
it was on the right side. An offensive lineman got his helmet ripped off.
Gotcha. Yeah, this was later on in the game when that happened. And then Gerald Mincey, do you remember when we scored and then he goes up to the kid and tries to sign the shoe and the cap was on?
Yes. Still legendary, though.
Yeah. I just wish he could have got it off. Like, that sucks.
Yeah, for sure.
He kind of like panicked a little bit, but still wanted to do it, but the cap was on.
We need the click Sharpies. This is why we need the click Sharpies.
Yes.
Or did the kid hand him the Sharpie?
Yes.
Yeah, have the cap off, kid. Come on. He's got gloves on. Well, he's got tape on.
Cole Kublik like went up to him and like asked. They're like, he's like, "Can I see it?" And he was like, "Well, the cap was on." He's like, "Why didn't you take it off?" He's like, "I thought it was off." And then Cole Kublik like signed all their like shoes and their shirts. Dude, he ruined some shirts.
Did he?
Dude, it was a massive
over this,
signature like right in his stomach.
This
Like-
cut to the sideline.
There's like 5 kids in a row
That's
where he
awesome.
just ruined their shirts.
That is the SEC broadcasts are always super underrated. I feel like for the most part in football, basketball's got to really get the right one, but I feel like the sideline reporters and all of them, like they have a good time, and that's all you can do in games like this is have a good time.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, you got to make it a little bit fun. You got to have something for us. You got to have something else to talk about. Otherwise, we could have been done.
Yeah,
after.
like I know a lot of people get upset when they're eating food in the press box during the game, but when it's a 40-point game, like what else are you gonna do than try out all the food around the stands?
Yeah, get some hot dog reviews in there.
Exactly.
That's kind of all I got. Tennessee wins that game 59-10. Don't love that they scored a touchdown, but whatever.
What are you gonna do? It's week. Hey, we're headed to week 2. Saturday we're going to the National SC game, and then Pitt after that.
Yeah, Pitt.
You gonna rewatch the Nashville game with me for just to get really into the works?
Yeah, I might, because we won a big bet.
We did.
Hawney
for MVP.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. It's not Heinz Field anymore. What is that field called again?
I cannot remember. We called it Heinz Field last year. We refused to even try.
Yeah.
You looking it up? You're a better man than me. I was just going to go with Heinz Field. It's a stupid name. Trust me. You're going to be mad.
Yeah, it's Acrisure Stadium. Acrisure.
Dumb name.
Stupid name.
I feel like Pittsburgh fans should be rioting right now about it.
Yeah, why don't you just make it like Pitt Stadium or?
Yeah, we'd make fun of that too.
No, we would, but
probably better they didn't.
Acrisure.
We'll see how the Vols do at Pitt.
Yeah, we'll see.
I mean, I don't know what happened to the good days of home and home against other Power 5 conferences, but glad we still have one.
Yeah, I'm thinking overtime. I think it's going to be a good game.
Okay. I'm thinking 21-point game, and then when it's over, I'll say I know football, even though it wasn't a 21-point game.
There you go. Yeah, you can do that.
Cool.
Obsession.
Real quick, we got some friends.
Do have some friends. I'll find it one of these days.
All right, we're gonna do it. He's gonna find it.
Check out our good friends at Knoxville Tours. They have tours you don't want to miss. If you give them a call today at 865-688-6232 and mention more important issues, you'll get an exclusive offer on their 5-day MLB tour. The offer will include 4 nights, 1 in Cincinnati, 3 in Chicago. That'll be 4 Major League Baseball games. So that'll include tickets, stadium tours, city tours, and much more. Give them a call today at 865-688-6232 for more details on their August 4th through 8th Motor Coach Tour. Go check them out, guys. Hurry, you better do that. You got this might be...
This is it. This is a stretch.
Yeah, so you got to do it now.
100%. Better get on it.
Yep.
Shout out Knox Stores. Yeah, this obsession. We were talking about this. We've alluded to it during the podcast. It was my fail, but the guy from, is it the Dog Report? Is that what they're called?
God, who knows? Probably.
Also, we invited him on, so he can't say we've shot away. I invited him on. He's dodging us. But Graham Coffee is his name. Graham Coffee, you don't know ball. Essentially just went on a long rant about how, calling Josh Heupel's offense gimmicky, which I feel like we've heard that forever. And help me here, Landon. Help me understand this. So Josh Heupel's been coaching. He's been a head coach for I don't know how long. He's been running his offense in the SEC as late as 2016.
Mm-hmm.
This is now his second year at Tennessee. I feel like if it's a gimmick and the coaches are going to know how to easily defend it, I feel like coaches like Nick Saban and Kirby Smart and even some of the other good defensive coordinators in this league should have already figured it out.
You would think. You
I
would
don't
think.
know.
I mean, he just starts with
He's tweeted a lot.
yeah,
Apparently, he's friends with Brian Hartman, and he's riding his coattails today. Harmon, sorry.
Yeah, he was like, the ironic part of Tennessee beginning to recruit well is that Tennessee is running a system that is designed to dramatically lessen the need for talent at offensive tackle and quarterback. It's a law of diminishing returns. Over time, Heupel will actually be minimizing the talent advantage he has built. Interesting.
Very
So,
interesting.
So lessen the need for talent at offensive tackle and quarterback, but actually, like, the talent that he gets will be worse than what he currently has. I just don't understand. How does a more talented quarterback become worse in the system?
I don't know. And then he also, this is the first time I've seen this tweet. You land a bunch of top 100 offensive line recruits. Would you rather vary your run schemes and impose your physical will, forcing man coverage outside and 100 different ways to influence the defense? Or 2, stick them in a rules-based system where they only run block against light boxes and the premise is to hope you trick teams into busting coverages 2 to 3 times a half?
Busting coverages makes her offense better. Got it.
Right. If you have an offensive line that can run against heavier front sevens, the likeliness of busted coverage is going to be higher. When you have really good outside talent that has to be defended, you're going to have lighter boxes, which allows you to run against lighter front sevens. What's your argument? He's saying the only way to win football games is do what Georgia does. That's what he's saying.
Which is funny because he's mentioned the diminishing talent at the quarterback position, buddy.
Yeah, who's diminishing talent?
Well, Stetson Bennett won 2 national titles and was a Heisman candidate. And where did he get drafted to? What round was that?
Yeah.
But he was very quick to point out how Tennessee made a guy that runs a 4.3 into a third-round pick. I mean, he wasn't a pick at all until last year. He won the Blitnikoff Award.
Right.
He barely even played his junior year. Not a lot, anyway.
Yeah, no, his talent argument is really bad. It's really bad. He also goes on to say in this thread, because he did a separate thread, by the way, when we were talking about obsession. I mean, this is just you guys won last year, and you won. I'll say it. They won handedly. Like,
yeah.
I'm not saying Tennessee could not have won that game, but that day they could not have won that game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it wasn't going to happen. He said, what Tennessee fans are failing to realize is that the system they're currently running is dependent on the defense failing as much as it is the offense succeeding. Elite teams go out and break opponents by taking chunks out of them all game long. They don't play deep ball roulette by hoping some DB is looking away or out of position when the ball is snapped. Tennessee doesn't do that. That is why I said that 5-star offensive line would be wasted in the Heupel offense. The Vols beat Bama by hitting the same wide receiver for 5 TDs. It was a great win, but it was also fluky as hell. The Heupel system doesn't dictate terms. If you want to win titles, you need to be able to do that. You need counter moves. Tennessee isn't playing chess, it's playing craps. Josh Heupel's offense 100% dictates terms, and it dictates it from the moment the ball is placed. It says you better be lined up here, and you better know where this guy's going, or the other guy's going to be butt naked open.
Yeah.
It 100% dictates terms from the moment the ball is placed.
And it also, it dictates terms in saying that, like, if Tennessee's offense is off, it's going to be a bad game. Look at South Carolina; it was terrible because Tennessee couldn't move the football. So it does dictate terms. Now, it's real easy for Stetson Bennett to sit back there in the pocket and find an open receiver when he has 5-star offensive linemen in front of him.
Yeah, you need a good offensive lineman. When you have that,
I think he's just trying to negative recruit against Tennessee, saying like they're not going to flourish in the system where Georgia did not flourish and be a national contender until they stacked recruiting classes the way that they have. And now they have more talent than everybody. They can just go out there and win on talent.
And the argument of just like dictating things and that is just bad because it makes it sound like in what he's saying, it makes him sound like Georgia should never have an off game. Their offense is what their offense is, night in, night out. What happened at Missouri?
Exactly.
Did you not dictate terms that night? Like, what's I just don't understand the argument here. And are we going to sit here and pretend like Josh Heupel's offense doesn't have the ability to take big chunk plays and also grind out moving the chains? Are we going to pretend every touchdown that was scored was a one-hit wonder? Is that really what we're going to do?
Yeah. Well, and then he talks about Darnell Wright and how Darnell Wright came out of the womb as a 5-star. Not every 5-star pans out there, bud. Number one. Then he contradicts that whole point and says, to be clear, I'm saying there are better things to do with a 5-star lineman than run the veer and shoot. It's an offense designed to minimize talent disadvantage. The 5-star lineman will still have the same God-given gifts, so they'll probably end up just fine.
Also, by the way, just because they're 5 stars does not mean they're first-round draft picks, let alone top 10 draft picks. Just to be clear about that. Darnell Wright before this year might not have gotten drafted.
He was preseason second team coming into the season. That's not a top 10 pick.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, it was.
Yeah, third, fourth round.
I don't think.
Into the season.
I don't think the system.
The system didn't make Darnell.
Correct.
But it also clearly helped him.
But the staff definitely maximized his level of play.
Right.
In the 2 years that they had him.
Darnell Wright, come on and let's discuss an offensive lineman's point of view of Josh Heupel's system.
Yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with any. I think the offense is the offense, and you come in and you learn that offense just like everywhere else. And if you're that good at the position, you will find a way in the National Football League. You'll find a way to the next level. You'll find a way to make plays. I don't understand like why, because we run a little bit different than, and it's not even that much different. We spread the ball out like everybody does now. We just do it a little bit more, and we go faster. But he was like, Art Briles doesn't run this, or Art Briles' son doesn't run his dad's offense. Kendall Briles does the same thing. They did at Ole Miss. They literally go, I think they were second in seconds per snap. I think Tennessee was around 20 and Ole Miss was around 21. So it's pretty much the same thing. And if I don't understand, these guys are getting paid a lot of money. They're absolutely going to change. They have to. You know, when things are different, when rules are changed, you know, they have to make a way to adapt. And I feel like to this point, Josh Heupel has done that.
Yeah. I just don't understand the argument at all anyways, so it's kind of hard to go against entirely because I kind of get what he's saying, but he's not, like you say, he's just pivoting. It's not a very well put together argument. I think you hit the nail on the head. He's holding water for Georgia. He's negatively recruiting against Tennessee.
Yeah.
That's what it boils down to. Is he's saying your talent will not be utilized correctly in Knoxville.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see what the game looks like last year if Tennessee had all those 5 stars.
Yeah.
It's probably
it is the age old that it's never going to die because it's always going to be true. It's not about the X's and O's. It's about the Jimmies and Joes. Like that is it. It's a simple fact. And I'm not saying the better team always wins, but if you want to be in a position to always win, you got to have the Jimmies and Joes.
Yeah. And maybe you don't have to have your offensive line dominate like you do in the Big Ten to run between the tackles every time. But if they're not good, they're going to get abused.
Yeah, 100%. Especially against a defensive line that Georgia had last year. They had a guy that the rumor was Georgia coaches were telling NFL scouts and GMs and coaches that don't take this guy, but let me give you the real deal on this guy. He doesn't work hard. We can't get him to come to practice sometimes, let alone to practice hard. And he was still taking number 3 overall?
Yeah.
When did he go to Philly?
It was
no, he was like 7 or 8. wasn't he?
Yeah.
He's top 10 is my point. And his coaches are telling, like, giving all the negatives, and he's that freaking good that NFL coaches are like, I don't care. I want this guy.
Right.
Like, that's how good one guy on that defensive line was, and there were several around him.
Mm-hmm.
So let's not pretend. And then, listen, I love Cedric Tillman. I wish he was healthy. He probably shouldn't have played in that Georgia game.
Yeah, agreed. I think that was, there's a few things last year where I kind of like, scratched my head a little bit. That was one of them. I thought Ramel Keaton earned the right to be on that field when Cedric Tillman isn't healthy. Another one is you see Aaron Beasley during that first game against Ball State. We obviously see him in the Orange Bowl. I don't know why he wasn't their number one linebacker throughout the entire year. I don't know why Juwan Mitchell or Sloan Page were out there anytime over Aaron Beasley. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
That's
I agree
just
with
the
that.
way I feel.
Yeah, agreed. But yeah, I don't kind of going back to I don't know why Georgia is even writing this right now, other than like I said, I think you hit the nail on the head. That they just lost Mike Matthews. Tennessee's obviously going to be more in the mix than they have in the past. I think this was for lack of a better term, and this guy's probably considers himself a capital J journalist, a hit piece on Josh Heupel in Tennessee and saying they cannot use your talent in Knoxville.
Yeah.
It's always going to be underutilized. You're going to get worse as a player. Make sure you go where someone can make you better, and that's Athens.
Right. And they've shown, all the time how much, great quarterbacks flirt. I mean, they've had 3 5-stars just sitting on the bench. They had Justin Fields. Who else do they have? Wasn't Jacob Eason? I mean, they just have no clue how to, manage a quarterback room. But they do have 2 national titles.
They're winning. Yeah, they get that title. I mean, for sure.
Yeah.
They won. They're
but
winning.
It's a little head scratching to me that they're even talking about Tennessee. You just won a national championship. Who gives a rat's ass what Tennessee's got going on? That means you are a little bit afraid of what Josh Heupel is cooking over here in Knoxville.
Yeah, they're 100%. They don't want to lose the absolute hold they have on the East right now, and they do have that. Credit to them for what they've built. Like Kirby Smart is a great football coach. He's a great recruiter. His staff has done wonders. The most amazing accomplishment they've had is they've kept everyone, like their entire team has a court appearance in the next 30 days, and they still kept everybody mostly out of trouble there. It's absolutely incredible.
Right.
And that's probably the best accomplishment they have, if we're being honest. But the credit to him, he's a good football coach, and winning 2 national championships, especially in this day and age of college football with the college football playoff, because you have to play more games. Like it just adds an element.
Yeah,
it's hard. And the East is, I don't know if more competitive is the right word. There's probably more games to lose in the East right now, I think is the easier way to say that. So credit to them and what they've done. They don't have to play Florida at home ever. That's good for them. And they never want to. I don't know why. They'll say because of history, but what's history without an SEC football stadium, in my opinion? But yeah, for some reason, there's a writer over at Dog Report who, instead of trying to figure out why Georgia football players can't read speedometers, he's more concerned with Tennessee not being able to produce offensive line talent, even though one got drafted in the top 10 this year.
Right. Yeah, just don't understand it. I feel like I would way rather, be worrying about my own team trying to three-peat than a Tennessee team.
Well, they're going 5-7 this year, so
right.
They weren't even gonna make a bowl.
That's what Kirby will say for sure. But yeah, I do think there is a little sense of jealousy because Tennessee is getting talked about quite a bit, and here you are. Oh, wait. We still have like 5-star quarterbacks, and even though we really wanted Stetson Bennett to get the hell out of here a year ago, he did lead us to 2 national championships. So now that he did win those, we're claiming him. But if he didn't, we'd be like, oh, he's not that talented. We should have had one of these 5-stars on the field. Right? Is that right or wrong?
I mean, come on. We know. We know.
So, Graham Coffey, you're a moron.
Graham, you're welcome to come on anytime and defend your position on the spot.
Yeah.
We've got plenty of time.
Yeah. Yeah. Or, I mean, Yeah, because you just want to talk Tennessee sports. You want to take over. We'll take a episode off. You just talk Tennessee the entire time.
Yeah, I mean, you seem to
And
know everything.
if
you
anybody
seem
that
to study a lot of tape and know a lot about Tennessee football. So you're welcome.
right, yeah,
It's
if
your show,
anybody
Graham.
wants to lose brain cells, please.
We'll do
watch the
coffee with
show.
Graham on this podcast.
Yeah. All right. What else we got?
We've got a couple more friends I want to tell you guys about. The first one, speaking of recruiting, volunteer club, guys, go join up right now. We are going to tweet this link out right now. Do you have that, Landon? Can you hit send real quick on the Vol Club link? Make sure you go click that link, go sign up. Time you definitely want to be signed up right now. If you join for $25 a month, you literally get everything. You can obviously, if you can, give more than that a month, but that gets you into tailgates, events they have throughout the year, and they have plenty of them. I think you can get into the tailgates for any membership deal, but that gets you the food, the drink, all of that, the full experience, if you will. But the volunteer club, it's great. This is the collective, the best one. They're doing the most, getting the guys and girls over on campus, the connection, and helping to NIL to its fullest extent, helping get and keep people on campus. And if you want to see Tennessee continue to recruiting, like it's just continue to flourish in recruiting, like NIL is just part of it. Whether you like it or not, it's part of it. So make sure you're doing it. Make sure you're helping. I think that the volunteer club is a little over 2,000 members right now. By my calculations, there's a minimum of 102,000 Tennessee fans. So we'd like to really see that grow. Make sure you follow our link right now. Go sign up for the volunteer club. You can join as little as $5 a month. You can give up to $500 a month. That may even be more now, depending on their affiliate programs. You get 20% off, up to 20% off some of their stores, their merch as well. They've got some really cool merch. They actually just dropped some last week, I believe. So make sure you're getting all of that. Go to the volunteer club right now. We are tweeting the link out, so that'll be there. I also want to tell you guys about some of our other good friends over at Rowback. Rowback, some of the best polos on planet Earth. I mean,
Yeah. Just all around like great clothes. I mean,
right.
great feeling.
If you golf, if you have to wear, button-up shirts to the office, if you like wearing kind of that like sporty golf apparel, it's the most comfortable clothing. Make sure you head over to Rowback. They do have an orange, it almost looks like an Orange Bowl. They might not claim it, but Orange Bowl commemorative polo right now. That's pretty sweet. That's what Landon got with this code, but it's for first-time users. So make sure you enter an email that is first time on the website. Use code all caps, more important issues. Get your 20% off. Find you something you like. You'll like it all.
Yeah, polos, Q-zips, shorts, hoodies, tees. They also have women's wear as well. Yeah, just great clothing. Feels really nice. Really good quality, so go check that out.
Shout out Rowback. All right, we have any questions?
Yeah, what is your what Tennessee football game are you looking forward to the most?
I'll go 2. Away game, Florida. We're going. I'm excited. Very excited for Gainesville. Home game, I think I'm most excited for. I think I'm most excited for A&M. I didn't get to go in 2020 to the A&M game. I like when it's like these unique, West teams that you don't get to play very often that are good. So I'm excited for that one. Obviously, I think a lot of people are excited for South Carolina and then Georgia. But I think A&M's I think it's gonna be a good week. It's gonna be a good weekend all around for us.
Yeah.
So
I agree. Yeah, I think that's gonna be a good one. I think I'm gonna go South Carolina. I just can't wait to beat their brains in.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. I'm sure Josh Heupel is as well. And this team, who's, if anybody was a part of that disaster that was in Columbia last season, hopefully they're ready for it too. But yeah, I think that's going to be a good weekend. Have that at home, and it's always just been kind of like a underrated rivalry between Tennessee and South Carolina. I would say
for sure.
And I think it's just going to kind of increase with kind of both these coaches kind of being newer in the SEC, and then just kind of going back and forth these last 2 years. And then South Carolina's recruiting well. people like Shane Beamer. I don't know why, but they continue to want to go there and play for them. They do have a lot of people from the portal. They had a lot of people that left to the portal. They do have Spencer Rattler, so I do think that game is going to be interesting. And that's one I've circled as soon as that game ended in Columbia last year.
Yeah, for sure.
So
since we've been on let's get a little live, little live reaction. Since we've been on, someone tweeted that they have seen. They had a friend. Vol Scoops tweeted they had a friend walking around Dick's Sporting Goods and they came across this. What are your thoughts? And then Chad Fields dropped. Maybe this is what the full uniform would look like. Let me get your immediate reactions here.
That's the ugliest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it.
No, that's so freaking ugly. Please, God, do not.
Yeah, I don't think I'm a fan. I think they're going for the Condredge Holloway throwbacks, but with gray and yeah. I don't think I like it. That's gonna be tough for me to get behind. Yikes.
Oh gosh. Yeah, hopefully that was just a misprint and they just tried to sell them.
Yeah, do we see any markdowns on those?
I'm wondering if they like release it to Dick's and then they're like, if this sells well, then we'll release them.
There you go. Unfortunately, they probably are selling good. That's the problem.
God. I mean, dude, the grays, the blacks, the white, the orange, I just don't know why you have to do some crap like that.
Yeah, let's be orange and white. Why can't we get throwbacks that are like actual throwbacks?
Dude, you know what actually sucks? Going back to the South Carolina game, I love those orange helmets. And it just...
I know. And it's been just thrown to the wolves. Yeah.
I hope they like wear them like one like crab game just to like get it out of their system. Just like, okay, it's not that bad. We can wear these again.
That's fair. Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be fine with me.
The bad taste in my mouth. Yeah, hate that.
Yeah, I hope that's not real. I hope it's not real. My most important, it's Messi. Comes on for the first time for Miami. Inter Miami, I think's their name. And just scores. I think to win it. Trying to find the video. Little free kick from outside the box. Also, LeBron was in town for the game. He knows who the GOAT is, so that's good. That makes me respect LeBron a little more. So if he ever touches Cristiano Ronaldo like that, I'm back on my LeBron hate, though. Messi only. Messi.
I'm going to go Aaron Rodgers. Did you see this video of him signing a pregnant lady's belly?
No.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, super weird, but dude, she wanted it, and he was like, this is a first.
Yeah, that's weird. He's a weird dude though, so it kind of works.
And it's like in Sharpie, so I don't know what you do with that, but I guess it comes off. I guess like a henna tattoo. It comes off eventually, but takes some scrubbing. A couple days to wear off.
Yeah, what's the point of signing body parts anyways? Unless you're gonna like go get it tattooed after. What's the point?
Yeah, maybe that just. But still, I would not do that on my stomach. Actually, I wouldn't do that anywhere, but definitely not on my stomach.
Yeah, nah. I don't think I'd get an Aaron Rodgers tattoo anywhere, so we're good.
No, definitely not Aaron Rodgers.
We're good.
Any more most important?
University of Traditions. Shout out University of Traditions. We're about to do a collab with them, so make sure you guys stay looking out for that.
Yeah, gonna be fun. I don't have any more. I don't have any more most important. I do have some fails.
Okay.
First, I'm gonna go Ohio State. I know people like their new uniforms, but it does They are very similar to a trash can.
Do you have a picture of them?
Yeah, I'll send it to you. See what you think about it.
It's Ohio State. I'm probably gonna hate them.
It's a very trash can vibe to me. I mean, just all gray, even helmet. Very metal trash can. Also, I don't know who the model is. I don't know if it's Ezekiel Elliott, but
I don't hate them.
I can't not see like a
That's fair.
trash can.
Just a metal trash can, a bin,
Yeah,
like a burn bin.
Yeah. Also, the people who voted Vanderbilt to win the SEC East and the conference.
And I know those people would argue till the day they die that they're journalists. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're not. Because of that, you're not.
Yeah, no.
Sorry, you're just idiots, and that's fine if you want to be idiots, but don't claim to be journalists.
Right.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Yeah, it's like those people need to. We talk about wanting the officials to be held responsible. Those people need to be held responsible too.
Yeah, tell me who they are so we can burn them.
For sure.
With the Tennessee jerseys. I don't really know if this is a fail. I just kind of want to read this. This was a Twitter thread going around from Reddit. Where this guy was essentially asking if he could golf with night vision goggles. He said he lives close to a municipal course. It's very walkable. He has young children, so he can only golf late at night. And he said, do you think the course would be open to 11 p.m. to 2 a.m., him going out 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. regularly with high-quality night vision optics? And I just like the idea of someone golfing in night vision goggles.
God. I mean, honestly, I would love that to like find your ball.
I don't know if that would help any.
You don't think it'd be well? I guess it'd have to have something on it, like a
Yeah, you would need it to. I think just get a glow in the dark ball that they make and use that. Yeah. But I don't know. The thought of being like, do you think a course would care if I just went out late at night? Well, yeah, they would.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
I don't remember the last time I've hit a glow in the dark golf ball. It's been a long time. But I don't know. I don't remember the difference in that and a regular golf ball. I'm sure it is a big difference, but
I don't know. Honestly, I haven't hit one in so long. They have night golf tournaments though.
Yeah, I just wonder like how. I'm sure the glow stick or whatever it is definitely like hurts the. I don't know how hard you can hit it.
No clue. Good question. We should find out. We should play some night golf sometime.
We should.
I'm down.
We got one more. It's Florida A&M. So their coach, Willie Simmons, suspends all football activities effective. I guess this was a couple days ago after a music video by Real Boston Richie went up using the team's locker room and gear without authorization with graphic language. This is not consistent with FAMU's core values, principles, and beliefs, is his quote. Dude does a whole rap video in your locker room and no one is aware of it except for the players. I don't understand how.
Yeah, that sounds borderline Northwestern. Like you have no one watching your locker room.
Also, like kind of a twist of this. Who cares?
To be fair, I heard that it was a really bad rap song and video.
Oh, really?
So I would definitely care.
I think it'd be really fun if he like brought girls and like they're all up in the locker room,
like the Eric Berry song.
Yeah, yeah.
It also looks just really, really poorly made. Like it does not look like it was produced well.
Well, I mean, no offense to Real Boston Richie, but I've never, ever heard of this man before. Are you?
I've got Bank Aaron Iron Skillet featuring Baby C. Is that not it?
I have no clue.
Let's see. Maybe it's hitting it.
Real Boston Richie, is that who it is?
No.
That's the rapper.
Oh, I got hit with an ad somehow. Okay. Let me see if I can find it. So you haven't watched it?
No.
Okay.
You know, I've been there when FAMU has denied several requests to use the mark.
Oh yeah, this looks just pitifully produced.
This from happening.
Why would you even do that? Yeah, that's bad.
You know, it's also kind of hilarious. He is from Tallahassee, so
Did he play it? What if he played there? Oh yeah, this is bad. It's called Send a Blitz.
Okay.
We should produce a rap video in the locker room.
We should.
That's our next big idea.
Yeah.
Oh my!
I wonder if we could do like a.
Or I love the thought too of like, I don't know who to suspend, so you're all suspended. Every one of you. The kicker that wasn't there is like, what did I do?
I think we should do a rap video like Johnson University or something like that. I think that would be funny.
Yes, I'm in.
Oh, real Boston Richie. Also, like, what player has like keys to the? There's some GAs that had to be involved.
Yeah,
they had to have keys to getting all this gear and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I love that. Like one of the pictures is him in a helmet, and the helmet looks massive on his head.
I'm sure they got him, properly fitted. No concussions here.
Sure, yeah.
Pretty confident in that.
All right, that's all I got.
That's all I've got. Been fun.
Yep. Guys, thanks. We will be back on Thursday. Should have a special guest on Thursday, so stay tuned for that. And have a good week. We're bringing the boat in, and we out.